An ordinance submitting a charter amendment to the electors of the City of Colorado Springs for the general municipal election to be held April 7, 2015, relating to the voting requirements for funding or financing a stadium and event center.
So we have three agenda items that have been on this. Well, first was
Well, let me just clarify, we have three alternatives under one agenda item.
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Sarah, do we want to just bring them up and then handle them in the order?
It just depends on whatever motion council would like to make.
Okay, so we have a former Councilmember Miller's measure that was there. We have the measure that is being brought forward by Councilmember Knight, and then we have one that is sponsored by me. So is there any motions concerning any three of these different approaches to this proposal? Councilmember Pico.
Yeah, a comment first is that, just to clarify, that I don't have anything against City for Champions, nor do I have anything against the stadium. The issue that I've had all along has been the public financing of the stadium. And I said about a year ago that I would vote for a vote, and I'll do that today, probably several times. But, and with that, I would move to approve the Stadium Event Center Charter Ordinance proposed by former Councilmember Miller.
Okay, it's been moved. Councilmember Knight.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. And is there any discussion on this particular one? Anybody in the audience who wants to testify on this issue? Okay, let's vote.
Councilmember Bagley?
No.
Councilmember Bennett?
No.
Councilmember Collins?
Yes.
Councilmember Gabler? God. Sorry. Councilmember King?
No. No.
Councilmember Knight?
No.
Councilmember Martin? No. Councilmember Pico?
Yes.
Councilmember Snyder?
No.
That fails on a
yeses.
7-2 vote. So is there another motion? Councilmember Knight.
I too want to make a comment before my motion. Talked yesterday on the ordinance that I'm bringing forward, on the body of it. Take a few seconds to talk about the philosophy of it. Like Councilmember Pico, I'm not against C4C. I'm not against the stadium. In fact, for those that had a chance to read it, I had an article in the 19 December edition of the Business Journal on how to fund it with voter approval. The first step that I put in there, and I said repeatedly, the first step we must do is gain the trust of the public. That's just smart business case sense. Anytime you go after investment capital or business capital from your bosses inside a company, the first thing you got to do is get their trust that the project is worthwhile. That was not done on this, and we need to go back to do it. The way to go back to do it is get a vote of the people. In fact, I want to point out is one of the emails that we received recently from the Business Journal talks about their upcoming events. And on Wednesday, January 28th, a community conversation with Stephen Covey on the speed of trust. And he talks about the importance of gaining trust with the public, showing strong, viable communities have trust at all levels, from neighborhoods to government, from businesses to schools. And I think a vote to allow the people to vote on this is indeed regaining that trust. And so therefore I move approval of the ordinance, the Stadium Event Center Charter Ordinance that I proposed, that's in your packet under my name.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Is there anybody in the audience who wants to testify on this issue? Seeing none, let's vote.
Councilmember Bagley?
No.
Councilmember Bennett?
No.
Councilmember Collins?
Yes.
Councilmember Gabler?
No.
Councilmember King?
No.
Councilmember Knight?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin? No. Councilmember Pico?
Yes.
Councilmember Snyder?
That's
3-6.
6 against 3-4. That fails. The next one is the one that I brought forward, and I will give a quick explanation as to why I brought this forward. I think that we definitely have a commitment to a vote of the people to be able to have an opportunity to vote before this goes on to the spending of local money. The measure that I brought forward was something I worked on with the business community to have an ability to do the incremental financing of the property tax for the purpose of infrastructure development. I thought that was really essential. And so I brought forward that particular measure to do that. That has also now been duplicated in something that doesn't go on to the charter. That is a resolution that we dealt with yesterday. And so if you were not here for that, it is also going to be brought forward if all of these fell today, and it will be brought forward at the next council meeting. So with that, I think that we definitely owe a vote of the people before we bring forward something that would require public financing for the stadium. So with that, is there a motion on this particular thing? Councilmember Knight.
Yeah, I'll move approval of your ordinance.
Okay. This is the ordinance here. So,
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I have a comment. I have a comment.
Councilmember Collins.
I'll be voting against this. Again, I'm not a big fan of tax increment financing. Anybody that's done research around the country, there's so many projects, stadiums and everything, they're failing, so I will be voting against this.
Okay, Councilmember Bennett.
Yeah, I also will be voting against this, but not because I don't want to go to a vote of the people. I just believe that the resolution that Councilwoman Martin and Chairman King have worked on is a better methodology for doing this. So I will be voting against this one, but I will be supporting the resolution when it comes to us in 2 weeks.
Okay. Any further comments? Anybody in the audience would like to come forward? Sure. Happy New Year. Welcome.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year to you, President King, President Pro Tem Bennett, distinguished council members, and esteemed staff. It's a pleasure to be back. And I would just like to reiterate what President Pro Tem Bennett stated. We are very appreciative of your hard work, President King, on the ordinance that was being brought forward today. However, when we learned there is a resolution with similar language that will be brought forward in 2 weeks that will not amend our city charter, I'm speaking on behalf of City for Champions that we are in support of that resolution. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bagley. You might, Laura, you would have a question for her?
No. I just wanted to add mine. I also am going to vote against this, but I'll be supporting the resolution that comes forward in 2 weeks. I agree with Merv totally on that. We need to take it to the voters and let them decide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to City Council.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone on council. John Cassiani, Executive Director of Colorado Springs Forward. I want to commend President King for all the hard work he's put into for his ordinance that we looked at and thought that he made some great efforts in going to where we could support that, and we really appreciate that effort. Since then, Councilperson Martin has come up with a tremendous resolution, which we really feel is the way to go, keeps it out of the city charter, and incorporates a lot of President King's thoughts and important key points that have been included. And so I'm here today to say that Colorado Springs Forward supports the resolution, which will be voted on in a couple of weeks. Again, thanking President King, but encourage you to vote against the ordinance today. Thanks.
Okay, further comments? Anybody else want to testify on this issue? Please come forward. Welcome again.
Thank you. I was wondering how many times, if it is voted down, it will continue to be voted on, because I was hoping for at least some end to the process. I have seen, we're now looking at 4 different things on it and a resolution. Eventually, we've got to vote. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments? Okay, let's vote.
Councilmember Bagley,
No?
Councilmember Bennett,
No.
Councilmember Collins.
No.
Councilmember Gabler. No. Councilmember King.
Yes.
Councilmember Knight.
Yes.
Councilmember Martin. No. Councilmember Pico.
Yes.
Councilmember Snyder.
That fails on a 6-3 vote, so those are those agenda items, and the resolution will be on the agenda in 2 weeks.